Okay, guys, I hope we're good. I see a a blank chat window though. I don't know what's with that. We ran into some difficulties. I don't know. My internet just like stopped working. I don't know. We went to like test the stream and the internet went out. I've been having like problems with the internet the last couple days, so I would not be surprised if at some point in this we can just completely just like just go away completely. And what's with the chat? Maybe chat will reload really quick. We'll see. Anyway, I hope everybody's well this evening. That computer is lagging right now. And okay, there's the chat at least. All right. So anyway, I hope everybody's well this fine Thursday evening. We are, I was going to say pre-NXL Europe, Amsterdam, but not really. It's kind of started. We'll get into that in a second. So one of the things that, like, I don't know, we're going to talk about NXL Europe, and also had some more HK products that I thought I might have tonight to share with you guys. I got one thing, so not a whole lot of stuff. Joseph likes my shirt. Thank you, Joseph. No, you said love you. Nope, sorry. I love you too, Joseph. Got lumps for you, said nice shirt. Is paintball dying, Connor asks. I don't know. It's a good question. Hey, Brad, should I get a used Lux Ice or a G-Tech 170R? My local shop has them for the same price. I'd probably rather have the G-Tech. Yeah, I would rather have that. I lean more toward trying to decide which paintball guns to buy. Really, kind of for me at least. I think I'm gonna move that. Nah, we're good. For me at least, I decide kind of just based on reliability. You know, I want stuff that like I can trust is gonna work every time I go to the paintball field. Cause I started playing when like, I don't know, stuff just kind of sucked, right? We constantly had problems. And now stuff has gotten so reliable, I don't want to deal with any of those problems. So I'm buying that stuff that's so reliable, like the 170R. I know some people definitely like the Luxes because they kick a little bit less. They're a little bit quieter, maybe a little bit smoother, maybe technically easier on paint. If we're playing in the snow or something crazy. So yeah, I want reliability, but I think if you want that like better shot quality, maybe that Lux Ice is for you. I'm working on my like neck, my upper back posture, so I don't have this like stupid neck person pose. So I like started to stretch out my back. Is the Spider Phoenix a good marker? No, don't get a Phoenix. Most of those cheap electric guns suck. So I feel like this is a good lesson. My mouth is dry. This is probably like a good thing to think about with anything, right? Like the Spider Extra, or the Spider Phoenix. I wanted to say Electra. I don't like those anymore. Spider Phoenix is the cheapest electric gun you can possibly buy, right? Like, yeah, it's the cheapest one you can buy. And I think the cheapest anything is never the best, right? I think that maybe going up and spending $300 for like the Mini GS is gonna get you a substantially better paintball gun than any Spider ever. Because it's the cheapest or least expensive product in a specific category. You know, whether that's phones or bikes or computers or TVs or shelves or windows or lights, it doesn't matter. You know, like the cheapest thing ever is not going to be the best. That's just not how it is. Can you recommend a pro level electric loader marker? I don't know why I said loader. I have no idea why I said loader. There's lots of them. Pro level is weird, so I like to think that is like tournament ready. So any of these guns that are reliable, able to shoot that higher end tournament paint, and yeah, kind of have that better higher end shot. And there is a lot of stuff, man. I mean, the Mini GS, the Axe, the Etha 2, you can go get an old Axe Pro. You can get the M170R, the 170R, maybe not the M170R. Someone mentioned a Lux Ice that was used. There are many, many of these guns that I would say are like pro or like tournament ready. As long as you can get those firing modes, you can shoot high end that tournament paint. Yeah, I think that's what kind of makes it a tournament gun. It's like, I don't know, I was trying to think of an example. I don't know, I'm blanking. But you don't really need to spend that extra $1,000 to be able to compete at that level. You can get something like the Mini GS, that ETHA 2, or like an Axe or something, and in that $400, $300 price, have something that I think's works nearly just as good or comparable to some of those high-end guns. So, you know. Mitchie the Kid, how's my week been? My week's been all right. You know, not as productive as I would like to be. You know, I intended to shoot an HK Army Speed Hopper review yesterday. I didn't actually shoot that, but you'll probably see that next week. Pretty good. How have you, or Nathan Trimble, have you heard any updates on the MPL? No, not really. I mean, I feel like you guys know as much as I do. And it's kind of what I thought, right? The NPL, the National Paintball League, for people that don't know. Last year, I think it was last year, it might have been early this year. Yeah, maybe it was like January of this year or like December of last year. I don't know, somewhere around there. Was a new league. I did an interview with the person who was starting or founding the league, Matt Wilkaitis. That's on here if you want to look at that. Yeah, and it was a new league, 5-man. And the idea was just to kind of play the same format that we're playing, that 5-man X-Ball format, but someone said something about the new HK Caddy. I got one right there. We'll talk about it. And that's one of those HK things that I thought I was going to have, but only got a thing. I completely forgot what I was talking about. MPL. Yeah, it was a new 5-man league, and the whole idea was to continue playing really the same format, just do better at the internet, right? So, I don't know, just do a better job at the whole internet. The webcast, getting social media stuff out there, doing interviews with players, whatever. They wanted to do a better job at that. And I think that the biggest fear from everyone was where and why and where's the money coming from? And I don't know if there's enough money in this sport to really justify trying to compete directly with the NXL. I think when the NXL started to do tournaments, they kind of just ended the PSP. So I just don't think that there's room for it for the MPL and the NXL. And I think that was one of their biggest problems, was that the NXL would have to go away, I think, for teams to justify or be able to afford any of these things. I did hear Andrew says right there, that Matt and Carl, no one knows how to spell Wakaitis? You don't know how to spell Wakaitis? Matt and Carl Markowski's podcast, the Playing On podcast. The Playing On podcast? Yeah, the Playing On podcast with Carl Markowski. Matt and him talked about the MPL. It sounded like they were a bit over-ambitious, and it's now in a holding pattern or canceled. Yeah, I think that was it, right? They tried to do everything, and it was okay, well, you don't got any money. I don't know if they didn't have money or not, but we kind of assumed that it would cost $1 million or, something crazy to put all of this stuff in place. And it seemed kind of ambitious, like you said, I think, from the start. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll talk about that. I don't know if I no, yeah, we do. I did put it on here. So, yeah, so this is actually very cool. This is the new HK Army ball hauler or paintball caddy. I was never a fan of these things. I never really made sense to me because I could load so fast out of a bag. And I just didn't like the idea. But this is pretty slick. They kind of took an existing product, like I think that many people should try and emulate. Take an existing product and try to make it better. What can you improve to kind of make this thing better? And one of the issues with the original ball haulers, I'll grab one of those. One right here. So this is not an original one, but there's two other companies making ball hauler things, right? There's the Valken ones like this, and then there's the Gen X ones that really are the same thing. The Gen X one's just cheaper, a little bit thinner, and doesn't, I don't know, it's just not as nice. But one of the problems that people constantly have with these things, this one's not as big as a problem because it's got these little like leashy things on it so they don't lose them. But they still come off, you know, like it still just falls right off. So people are constantly losing these lids. So you just have this thing and it's just wide open. So air's getting in there and paint's going bad faster. So what I think is clever about the HK ones is the lids just don't come off, right? Like it's friggin' attached to the thing. So it's not flying off. So I like how they did that. I like how this lid closes, or not closes, but you know, you can't lose it. It's cool shaped, right? I'm kind of a fan of the shape. I like how they put the little fill lines on there so you can see that you have like, you know, 500 paintballs, 1,000, whatever you want. You can kind of see them in there. And weirdly enough, they put like this little cool like ball sizer on the back. So you can take that off and like, you know, it's kind of hard to see it when I hold it up like that. There we go. Little ball sizer thing so you can kind of see what size paint you got. So you can kind of match it to that barrel a little bit easier. So I think these are cool mainly because like they just added some neat stuff, right? Like the lids friggin' don't fly off. And I like that little like gauge on the side to see kind of how much how many bullets you got hidden in there. I gotta turn an application on really fast here. Bango. There we go. Yeah, so I think it's cool. These come in red, blue, and smokish gray color. There's some down there. They're $20. Now you can probably buy them everywhere now. So HK's got these on their website. And other stores probably do too. They're cool. I would imagine that most paintball stores or paintball fields that were carrying either the Valken ball hauler or the Gen X ball haulers are probably going to switch over to these, as they are quite better, really. I mean, they're made better. Like, it's just way more solid, and the lids don't come off. So it's cool. I kind of like it. Yep. Someone said, are padded jerseys really worth the money or just a gimmick? Imagine what you want. So I don't like padded jerseys just because I don't want to wear all that crap, right? Like, I don't want to just have this, like, big padded thing on me, right? Like, I want to be, like, cool and lightweight and, like, swift. And when I have this, like, big padded jersey on, I just feel like, ugh, all, like, cumbersome and, like, weird. And I think that padded jerseys are good for maybe absorbing impact from getting hit. But they definitely don't do anything as far as protection from like diving or sliding. Because the pad's like this thick, right? It's thick, but they're very squishy. So it's not like forgiving at all. So, I don't know. Here is a Chaos Cartel jersey. I have no idea what this is. Junior Brown just sent me some sort of text message I can't read. But this does have padding on the back of there. It has, yeah, I don't know, padding on there. But it's not thick, right? It's very like plush and soft. So I think it's good at like absorbing impact probably from paintballs. But if you're trying to like mash your elbow down on the ground, you just, I don't know, it just doesn't do anything because that pad instantly compresses and you're still like hitting on the ground. Whereas pads like, I don't know, actual knee pads and elbow pads, they have the pad thickness the same, but that pad is so much more dense, it actually absorbs that impact rather than just like full on compressing. Yeah, padded jerseys. I don't like them because they're hot and weird, but I don't know. Who knows? HK speed does not compare to the Spire 3 T-Sauce, says. That's true. T-Sauce, that's true. But they're also considerably cheaper. I mean, it's like a third of the price. So there's that. Yeah. There's still some chia seeds in the bottom of that. Yeah, so like padded jerseys, I don't like them. I'm not too much of a fan. So we got one other thing I wanted to kind of like touch on. I think that happening this week is something kind of cool. So we're going to switch over to our media window.